Well, good evening, and welcome. And want to thank you so much for joining me this evening. This evening, the 12th of July, 2025, and it's a very lovely day. It's been sunshine, been shocking. It's been like 28, 29 degrees Celsius. So we're talking about 86, 89. I've been speaking to some people in the States and they say, wow, that's really great. That's great that the UK is having a good time as well. I want to thank so much for people who are joining me on Instagram. Those who are joining me on YouTube, those who are joining me on Facebook, and those who are joining me on TikTok. But for TikTok, just want to say to you that you're actually watching. You're just seeing my face. You don't need to see my face. You need to see the guest which I'm having tonight. I'm going to have two guests tonight. One is going to be with Mr. Conroy Green, who is an artist. He's a painter, and I'll speak more about what he's about just before we start the show. And also, I'm going to be having a Mr. Joseph Patterson. The heat is real, yes, the heat is real. Thank you so much. And Andrew Mayers, looking forward to see Conroy interview. Okay, you commented very early today. You've been there, wonderful. So yes, the the interesting thing is that I wanted Mr. Joseph Patterson to come on tonight. And why I wanted Mr. Joseph Patterson to come on tonight, I want to make a sort of distinction and comparison to in 2010 when there was the third party of the Lib Dems that joined and with that national debate and it made a swing whereby they had the coalition. Jamaica is having this election which is due in 2025 in the next month or so, well, by September. And we're going to see if the UIC is going to be a part of the national debate which they have. But I'm going to have Mr. Conroy Green, who is going to come on and speak about his work, his artistic work. I may have O'Neill, my co-host, may join me. If not, but the show goes on as well. I want to thank people for joining tonight. And yeah, so it's going to be a great night. And for those also on TikTok and all the different platforms. Remember to like, share, and tell somebody about the show, okay? Well, first of all, let me just ask if you can hear me properly. Let me know if you can hear me clearly on uh on TikTok. Let me know if you can hear me clearly. If it is very clear, I'm using a mic at the same time. You don't have to use a mic, but just let me know if you can hear me clearly on TikTok. Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me clearly. Remember to like, remember to subscribe. You can, fantastic, and it is very clear. As I said, it is very important that you go over to the YouTube channel. The YouTube channel is Silburn TV, where you're able to see the full proper show. You can see some images of the paintings as well. Uh, well, tonight I have Mr. Conroy Green, and Mr. Conroy Green. I just share something here. I just share something here of Mr. Conroy Green, and I think it is apt. I think it is very important, and it is apt. Uh, and here it is.
And I'm a Jamaican self-taught fine artist from Kingston. This here, as you can see, is a beautiful portrait painted by myself of our most honorable Prime Minister, Andrew Holness and Casey. Recently, he made a post on his Instagram where he was having a conversation with her about her aspirations, and she mentioned that she wanted to become an artist. I saw the video. Being that I'm an artist, I was very much inspired, right? So I thought about how best I could create this to be an inspiration for her and our Prime Minister. I actually did it, reached out to him, and he saw it. I am totally blown away. I'm here at the Jamaica House actually waiting to have a meeting with him about this. Words can't explain how I feel to know that I'm a self-taught artist. I have no accreditations or accolades, and the Prime Minister of my country acknowledged my work, and he actually told me that it inspires him. So I want this to be an example to others as well, to pursue their dreams and follow their heart.
There we are. That's an opening by Mr. Uh, Conroy Green, and I find him very inspirational. And I found him on well, I found him on TikTok, and I said, a very interesting guy. I like to somehow support my fellow Jamaicans. And Conroy Green is a self-taught Jamaican fine artist whose creative journey is fueled by a deep ambition to live purposefully and a profound respect for trailblazers who have left lasting marks on society, drawing inspiration from their legacy. Conroy channels his passion into vibrant works of art that span landscapes, abstract portraits, and more. Working primarily with acrylic and oil paints, Conroy's diverse portfolio reflects both technical skills and emotional depth. In addition to his studio practice, he's an accomplished muralist and actively engaged the community by hosting lively sip and paint events. Well, it's talking sip and paints. His commitment to giving back is evident through volunteer work, sharing his artistic experience and personal story with children in school and orphanage across Jamaica. Connor's talent and dedication have earned him notable recognition. He's a recipient of an international scholarship from Lumikik Studio in celebration of CHMI's 20th anniversary and was awarded by the JCDC, which is the Jamaica Cultural Development um, Commission in 2021. That same year, he proudly hosted his first solo exhibition, marking a significant milestone in his artistic career. And I'm looking forward to having this conversation with Mr. Green because and one of the things that I've seen Mr. Green with is let me just say something was I've seen him on the demonstration with what's his name, Mr. Abraham Chur, when they were demonstrating in central London, and I found a quick video of it, and I'm just gonna play just a snippet of it. It has some sort of music in the background, but just to um, play that a bit there, and I think it is really apt. And here it is.
African, I stand African. We stand with the leader of Burkina Faso, President Ibrahim Traore.
Here we are.
You know
So
what I mean?
therefore, he's a and I think one of the things about artists, because I know like Mark Renaissance Cameron is artists tend to speak a lot through their paintings, and and that is one of the very interesting things that's through their paintings they speak a lot and they explore a lot and they give a lot, and it is not just painting. But I'm going to let Mr. Green speak for himself, and I'm going to invite Mr. Green in. Hey, Sir Green, how are you?
I'm doing amazing, Silborn. How you doing, man? Thanks for having me.
Virgin, I'm a person that like to get things done quick. As I said, I saw you on TikTok, and I said I like this guy. Let me just reach out to him, and you're very responsive. And I said I'd like to interview you, but I never knew it was going to happen that this quick.
Yeah, man, I appreciate you. I appreciate you, brother. You know, it's always a good feeling whenever time someone acknowledges your good work. So
Yes,
I'm grateful that you reached out. And
yes.
I'm actually here with my TikTok family. So,
Okay,
you know,
okay.
I'm
We
not
go.
alone.
I normally say TikTokers, TikTokers.
Yes, yes, my peeps, you know.
But tell me, and thank you for coming on. I played earlier um when you went to the Jamaica, not the Jamaica High Commission. You went with the Prime Minister. Let me see if I can.
The office
Green,
of the
and
Prime
I'm
No,
a
Minister.
no.
Jamaican
Sorry,
self-taught fine
this one,
artist
this
from
one. Yes,
Let's
Kingston.
get it.
This
yeah.
here, as you can see, is a beautiful portrait painted by myself of our honorable, most
Stillborn
honorable
TV,
Prime Minister
YouTube.
Andrew Holness and Casey. Recently, he made a post on his Instagram where he was having a conversation with her about her
Talk on sir.
aspirations, and she mentioned that
Billboard
she wanted to
TV.
become an artist. I saw the video. Being that I'm an artist, I was very much inspired, right? So I thought about how best I could create this to be an inspiration for her and our
Mm.
prime minister. I actually did it, reached out to him, and he saw it. I am totally blown away. I'm here at the Jamaica House actually waiting to have a meeting with him about this. Words can't explain how I feel to know that I'm a self-taught artist. I have no accreditations or accolades, and the Prime Minister of my country acknowledged my work,
Mm.
and he actually told me that it inspires him. So I want this to be an example to others as well to pursue their dreams and follow their heart.
Good one.
That is it, man.
Yes, I like that. So tell me about that meeting there at with the prime minister.
Okay, so the meeting with the Prime Minister, definitely one that I'll remember,
Mm.
for as long as I live. So basically, the Prime Minister was in a community, and he met with the residents of the community, and he was talking to a child,
Yes,
right? So he made a post of this interaction on his social media
which
account.
he, 'cause he's very apt into it, isn't it? He's very into the
Yes.
social media.
So I saw that post on Instagram, right? Where the most honorable Andrew Holness, Prime Minister of Jamaica, he
Yes,
was speaking with a child, and he mentioned that he wants her to follow her dreams.
yes,
And to me, that stood out because usually people of prestigious career backgrounds
mm.
would try to influence or encourage others to follow the same path. But
Yes,
our prime minister was encouraging this child to follow her dreams. Her dream
mm.
was that of becoming an artist.
Yes,
And I am already that,
mm.
So I took the initiative of painting the image of him holding up the child,
Yes,
you know? And I was already doing some community work in Tivoli Gardens. I was painting a mural there, a part of a project to uplift and revitalize the inner city community. So I
yes,
reached out to him,
mm.
knowing that I'm already doing the mural and that I did this painting for him. So I reached out to him in one of his posts, and I'm like, Miss Honorable Prime Minister,
Not Bogart.
um, yes, I'm reaching out to you,
Yeah,
as a citizen of this great nation. I'm doing some great works. My friends and I in our communities, I'd like for you to give us a look in, see how best you can surround us and enable us to achieve our goals, which
yeah,
is to uplift our community. And he reached out to me
yes.
within a couple minutes,
Wow.
you know? Yeah, and he told me that he wanted to meet with me,
Mm.
you know? Right there and then he told me that he wanted to meet with me. And I met with him, I believe, in 2 days, So I took the painting to him, and it was really a great time knowing that I'm
Yeah,
self-taught. I never went to college, you know. Yeah, I have little or no formal training, and
yes,
I could, attract the leader of my country with my
yes, yes.
God-given talent. So that was amazing for me.
Thanks for that, and that leads me to my first question: is like, what inspired you to pursue art, and the keyword as a self-taught artist?
Yeah, man. I'm going to be completely honest and blunt.
Yes.
Hardship. Hardship is what inspires me. you know?
Mm.
And this hardship is not one that I experience only, but
Yes.
the hardship that I would see my friends experiencing, my family, knowing that even if you have a 9 to 5 job, you still might experience this hardship,
Yes.
you know? So for me,
Mm.
it was not having a job during my adolescent years, not being enrolled in school. So I felt wayward as a young man. But I know that I am capable. I know that I am an able bodied young man. So I would always emulate individuals such as Marcus Garvey, cultural pioneers, freedom
Yes.
fighters, and these people would always try to influence self actualization and self reliance. So for me, I wasn't going to complain about not having a job, knowing,
Yes.
say, I have a God given talent, I can try something. So I tried it, and I find that people start calling me artists.
Yes.
People start calling me artists. I'm just fall in love with the idea of being an artist.
So therefore, like, yeah, wake up one day and not wake up one day. They keep calling artists and say, "Yeah, I'm an
Yeah,
artist. Yeah, I'm an
yes,
artist.
man.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
But you see,
yeah,
the starting part,
yeah,
me never feel so worthy, because when a man
mm.
say, yeah, artist, which wave song them there? I mean, I say, Virgin, I paid, my paid, you know. So a man more I look for you sing a song. So me I say to myself, well, me have to go be the greatest painter because a guy now go come undermine my artistry. So I grew more passionately about my abilities, I grew obsessed with creating more and more. I found myself as a young man. I find say, I never wanted the days to end. I find say I wanted the days to come early because I wanted to create.
Yes. So
So
yeah, so what we are talking about is that the stories of, and I'm going to use the word story, but you know it's not a story. The realism, the reality of past trailblazers. These guys influence you
oh,
in this
definitely,
creative
man.
journey.
Oh,
In this creative
definitely.
journey.
Oh, yes, man.
Yeah.
Sometimes we lack leadership and mentorship, So for me, I always try to seek out things that remind me that I have worth, you know.
Yes.
So I try to surround myself with the teachings of Marcus Garvey, as a little
Yes.
short Jamaican stout man, you know,
Yes.
where the
Yes.
world know as such a global figure. He's a major figure in my life as a
Mm,
creative, you
mm.
know. Yeah, man. First
And
national hero.
yes, and the thing about it, the fact that with your work, because I've seen your work and I will show a couple of it later. You span landscapes, abstracts, portraits. How do you choose your subjects then? Because I had you sent a picture of a doctor of a lovebird or something like that earlier, and
Yes.
and somebody said, "Can I get one of them?" Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. What themes do you? How do you find these subjects? And I must say that there's a gentleman named Mark Cameron who's an artist, and he's gonna join at some point because just to sort of we talk about it as well. Yeah, tell us about how do you span the landscapes? How do you get these ideas in your mindset to get it out there, Mark?
I can only be honest.
Yes, yeah, you keep saying that all the while. Boy, you're always
Yes,
honest, Virgin.
because my truth liberates me,
Yeah,
I can't be mediocre about it.
yes,
Art is life for me, God is the greatest artist. So it's
yes,
me, yes, when me breathe, me realize that there's this perfect orchestra that keeps life together. The sun, the moon, the stars, the plant. Everything is art to me now. So
Yeah.
I could never limit how me absorb this, you know what I mean, inspiration and how I would want to perceive it or tell a tale. You know, so the
Yes.
bird, the river, you know, the face, all of these things inspire me now when we
Yes.
start tapping into my artistry, you know. So I don't limit myself. I never went to school, you know.
Uh,
So I don't know how to approach art in an institutional
in a,
way.
in a
Art
structured
is
way, like
freedom. Yes, man.
you're
Yes, man. Art is freedom, man. Art is the
uh,
butterfly, you know. Art is the caterpillar turned to a cocoon, turned to a butterfly. That is
uh,
art. You know what I
uh,
mean? So a man paint a cocoon, you say, well, right, you paint cocoon. Me, I say, well, this is the process of transformation. You know, it means something, it have emotional value, you know?
yeah. Listen, listen. I saw you walking on the streets in London. I didn't get to people. You can go and check out his video on TikTok. It's blowing up. You know. This guy's not just a painter. He's there. I saw some videos. You know, you're out there marching with regarding Abraham Charo and stuff like that. Let me see.
Indeed,
There
indeed.
it is. There it is. There. Yeah.
Yes,
You know.
We stand
yes,
with
man.
the leader of Burkina Faso, President Ibrahim Traore,
Now tell me now.
Yeah.
Tell me now. Tell me now. Tell me now. Let me ask you this question now. You're an artist
fought for our
and you
liberty
paint. Yeah.
over
You
centuries.
you 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 you. People buy these things, but you don't really paint it to sell it. Like to say, this is a market. You just paint these people that inspire you. Is it? And then people want it.
Well,
I
well,
go. I go.
well, well, I want to say, you know what I mean? All work and no play makes Jack a dull boy, you know? You understand? And
Yeah.
at the end of the day, we have responsibilities, but my passion and my purpose is not led or guided by tangible, perishable things. You see, me as
Yes.
a youth now, me as a man, we're gifted by the Most High Creator, you know.
Yes.
So with with having a gift from the Most High, you can't feel lacking. You have to give back now to the world. So
Yeah.
me in a myself, them thing, it inspire me when me know say you are the great works in the earth, you know. And me
Mm.
can paint you were so great. And you look upon me and say, but that you tell man, that you
Uh,
tell him skilling. I mean, them thing they give me joy. Them thing
yeah.
they give me fulfillment and satisfaction. Remember, I said, me never gonna school, me never go college. So I
Yes.
don't know what it feels like to be a graduate or a valedictorian. You see me paint all a man like Ibrahim Traore and me see the whole of Africa come tell me, say, well, youth, you're doing something good. Me feel like a valedictorian.
Yes.
Me
Yes.
feel like a college graduate. You
Yes.
understand? Because
So,
look, you see, value supersedes that of price. You
mm.
see it? You will always remember the value long after the price. You have the
Listen.
Gucci slippers and
Yeah.
you say, well, Gucci this, you know.
Yeah.
You know how much me they pay for this?
Uh.
So it's not about the money.
Well, listen. I want to bring in Mark Cameron here. Mark Renaissance Cameron. Because he's in the
Yes.
states here, and a fellow Jamaican who is there at Trailblazer
So me
and
don't
he
know
was
them man, man.
you know. All right, go on, go. So you know the guy.
Yeah, man.
Well,
Big up,
hey,
Bridget.
hey, respect. But hey, you know something? I'm listening to the bridge now, you know.
Yeah.
And it come like say, boy, I'm never come up on the show because I'm sound exact like me. Because art liberates you. One,
Yeah.
one of the reasons why I have done so many things in my life is because I'm very impatient. Um, I always think outside of the box. I don't take a man's attitude towards art or building. I mean, I build furniture, but
Yeah.
at the same time, I'm also a culinary. I'm in the culinary field. You know, I build restaurants. I own hot sauce, I build houses. So like he rightfully said, art liberates you. You're off for the
Constraint.
plant. You're off for the plantation when you are an artist because nobody not tell you what kind of food you have to eat. No matter, you're if you want a man under somebody, then him decide whether you eat steak or sardine, you
Mm,
know. And I like to chart my own course, like he mentioned earlier about Marcus Garvey. Marcus Garvey is my inspiration, And but I find myself doing art these days, that that are art with a message. Me tired of
Mm.
painting pretty flowers and them thing there, and I mean, although I'm a naturalist, I mean, I like to paint things that remind me of the pristine Jamaica that I remember in the '60s.
Mm.
And Jamaica is like a picture itself. So you have these different inspirations, but lately I'm transforming into more advocacy, art with a meaning, art that fosters change. Because at the end of the day, you might paint some beautiful pictures that people buy, right?
mm.
But how does your art help lead the light on for the next generation?
Mm.
And that's a good
You know what I
point
mean?
there. That's a good point there, Conroy. And being an advocate and you're an advocate in a sense. How do you see the art, you know, taking into the next future and for younger people as well, inspiring those coming behind you, um, to be a voice?
So for me, as mentioned before, we
Yes,
emulate Marcus Garvey.
yes.
Marcus Garvey is Jamaica's first national hero, and as a young man, went to schools, and we understand how important, examples like these are. But you find that we have teachers, we have leaders that are not so patriotic, not so liberal.
Mm,
With
mm,
an artist now, you have a voice. People look up to artists,
mm.
you know. So if you can create images now, if you can revolutionize the heroes, if you can the youths them normally see the hero them in a black and white.
Yes.
So them no want to learn about them. It not colorful, it not modern, it not digital. So you can bring forth education. You can bring forth so many things to people with art, with colors, with a message.
Mm,
You can inspire young men and women to become producers rather than
mm,
mere consumers. Because in Jamaica, we own nothing. We
mm.
don't even own our own dialect. Patois. We are ashamed of it. So with the arts now, you preserve your culture, you tell a tale, So yeah, man, that is how me going forward will use my art.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
And
man.
Mark, what do you say about that, Mark? Yeah.
Boy, Regina, I really admire the way you talk. Big man thing. You really, it reaffirms my commitment to what the path I'm on. I did an event up at the university about 2 years ago, where I was invited to do a presentation how art manifests itself into economic viability. And I had a couch I made, and that I think you've seen it, Silburn, Chase to Face. I had my sauce on display.
Mm,
I had my art, different forms of art. I had abstract, impressionism, realism. Then to top it off, I did a cooking demonstration.
yes.
And it's important that we carry a narrative of revolution, a narrative that helps our people to think. Back in the day, if you look on the artists back in the day, they're the ones that Okay, art, artists and people who think outside the box are the one who come up with ideas that can spur the economy along.
Mm.
If in the ideas field, this is where the the economy takes off. Yeah, it comes with an idea. It comes with a person who comes up with a concept that nobody else thought about, and
Mm.
Yes.
them can see it. Them can see the relevance of what you're doing. And another man picked up and said, "Yo, I can transform this into take it all over the world and
Mm.
turn it into an industry." You know, when
Mm.
I did for instance, when I did my hot sauce, my new hot sauce, Jamaican Heat, right? I tried all the Scotch bonnet sauce out there, and as a chef who cook on every network in America, from Fox to NBC and CBS, me say, hold on there. Scotch bonnet has good flavor, but what can I do to improve my product where it's not about heat alone, but guest experience?
Yeah.
So
Mm.
my Scotch bonnet now, brethren, you put it on anything and it does enhance the flavor. It's not
Yeah.
about burn off your lip and all that. No, no, everybody does that. Everybody can create a hot sauce that is on fire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what's the experience of? I believe in heat with reward.
Yeah.
So my
All
hot sauce
right.
now, I make my hot sauce with a reward component to it. When I started the political party, which is a whole other story, brethren, there's one part of this my whole experience that is the most difficult,
Mm.
and it's to have people their misunderstanding of government and what they've been taught. It's very hard for people to understand that they're free
Mm.
Mm.
without government. Without government, now government can make your life miserable. So I thought it would be a good thing to probably get some like-minded people along and try to inspire the people to make a change. But
Yeah.
that is the most difficult thing I've ever had to deal with. To deal with people that don't see your vision. Them think it's
Ca-
not
Yeah.
possible.
Can I just bring in
You know?
something there with Conroy? Like what Mark talked about, like getting into politics and wanting to make a change in the world. Because
Mm.
Jamaica is the start of the world. Jamaica is the start of the world. You start from
Mm.
Ocherius, which I'm from, and then you develop. you know, tell us about when you're doing artistic like this. Are you somewhat coy or cautious in stepping in to be politically active
Oh,
or speaking
definitely.
up on
Oh,
issue? Yeah.
definitely not. Oh,
Okay.
definitely not. And
Okay.
I'll say it again, and I'll say it
Yeah.
again.
Yeah.
Marcus Garvey inspire me.
Yeah.
So, as Mark mentioned earlier, art liberates not only your physical self, your soul.
Yes.
You're connected with purpose. So
Yes.
art has always been there to challenge the status quo, the
The
narrative
mindset.
of society. Yes,
Mm.
this is what art is about. Art is the reason why buildings have triangular roofs or
Mm.
domes. It's an
Yes.
artist that said that's what you're supposed to do. Just like Mark said, it is an it is an innovator. You need to have an innovative spirit. So
Yes.
we have dinosaur government. So you need to have youth with you don't necessarily have to be a painter to be artistic.
And
Being
that's a
an
key.
artistic person
Yeah.
is being creative. So
So
what Mark is saying
yeah.
is
Yeah. Yeah. Go on. I try
you,
jump in.
you,
Go
you,
on. Go
you
on.
don't
Be
want
bucket.
to just you don't want to just come and be another PNP, JLP.
Yeah.
No. You
Yeah.
want to make a difference as a Jamaican. So even if it is to move away from these conventional way of approaching government, then allow the conversation to start.
So what you're saying also is that the word artists has got to be revised as so how people see artists. Because Mark,
Oh, definitely.
when Conroy said artists, Conroy said, "So what music I sing, man? What music? Me know you your music yet, but you have to change that whole thinking there." You know?
But hold on, it's still burning. You know, so me sing my tune last about 3 months ago, brethren.
We know say you do everything, man. We know say you do
I
everything.
so me DJ, me have 3,500 albums in them, because me DJ more time, when I'm
Whoa!
ready. Me not talk
Artist
about no,
life.
me not talk about no disc, I talk about from the 70s, 60s, and 70s. I have
Yeah.
3,500 albums, about
Mm.
2,500 disco 45.
Yes.
So I love
Wow.
music. I mean, when I leave this earth, bridge, me want drive like a prune. Me don't want us dead from nothing. Me have to
Ah,
just, me have to
wanna
just,
give it.
me want extract every bit of life out of me, because guess what? There's more people unborn than those that are born. So we have a responsibility to leave the light on for somebody else. You never have a born,
Yeah.
Puss and dog and cat live, eat, sleep, and dead. Me don't want to be in them realm there. Me want to make an impact in this. And it's not like say boy, I want my name out there, because guess what? Even your name don't last too long. So it doesn't really matter, because I went to Russia about 8 years ago, right? And I saw
Mm.
some beautiful statues. And when I asked the people who is this person, none of them
Mm.
know who the person was. But at the same time, they were relevant in the time that they were around, which is why
Mm.
the statues were made in their name. So we
Mm.
have to look beyond our ego and look beyond your responsibility as a human being to
Yeah.
society. So
Selflessness.
yeah, brethren, I told some people in my movements, I say, yo, when we're going there, make we not take no salary now. Right,
Mm.
the man them, they were out of them, they were beside
Rest of
themselves.
them
They say, what you mean?
disappear.
Mister, what you mean? You can't take no salary. I say, hold on, you know I work now, brethren. So
Yeah.
if you're in a one work said way, government I don't know what that's a service. Just like
Mm.
just like you are at a homeowners, if you're a homeowners whatever, and a board member, you're part of the homeowners association, the man don't get paid. And the greatest contribution one can make is one to
Mm.
one's country. And you have to get paid for that.
Ah,
That's your run down money, your
patriotism.
run down, your run down raise a pay and all them kind of. I say, yo, we're not the people that are running our countries are not thinking about you, brethren. It's about
Yeah.
for them. They want to uplift themselves. Them now deal with you. It have nothing to
Yeah.
do with you.
So
True.
there's a
So
so there's a mark for prime minister and Conroy for what? President.
y- yo,
No man,
you see,
me
let me
work
tell you
Hold on.
under
something. You see,
Mark
Wait,
leadership,
so
man.
no,
Conroy,
hold on,
where's
man,
the Conroy?
hold
Where's
on,
the Conroy?
hold on,
Me I
man.
say me
Hold on.
work under Mark leadership.
Yes.
One man
Yes.
can be
Which mark?
captain
Which
and one
mark?
man
Which
run
mark?
a engine room,
Which? Hey, brethren, I could have been the president of the UIC when it first started, and I
Yeah.
told Joseph Patterson, say, yo, me dead with you, brethren. Me dead
Yeah.
behind you,
Yeah.
right? Because I'm not look for them. I don't want to tell nobody for the nothing. Because I'm not like nobody tell me to do not neither.
Yeah.
No nobody tell me what to do. So I'm not in that. Although I'm affected by bad decisions that anybody will make on my behalf. So the
Mm.
reason why I went into the political thing is because I do not like how their actions affect my liberty.
Yeah. And that's so that is patriotism. You're supposed to know, say, you can feel that way, and it's natural to know that me not like that one or my country. Me can make a difference. We don't have that today amongst young people, you
No, we
Conroy.
know.
don't. We
Wait,
don't.
wait.
And you know something?
Yeah.
We are going to pay a heavy price for it, brethren. Me tell the people that they know. I say, listen, man. I see here the same conversations about Joseph Patterson. He's a dictator. I'm a dictator, right? I see here that, right? And to some extent, there's some, he's a strength of conviction. Him know what him want. And if him buck up on some slackers, him no want them, what you gonna do? Because it's democracy. You have a whole
Mm.
bunch of idiots under you, right? I tell you
Mm.
what to do, and them don't know what to do.
Yeah.
So you coming like a dictator. When in
Well,
fact,
Oh.
your knowledge is on a whole nother
yeah.
level, brethren.
Well,
Oh, I
So
see what you mean.
Wait, hold on,
So
hold
I
on,
time
yeah.
go on,
I want
go
to
ahead,
tell
go
her
ahead.
that I want to tell her that I got Joseph Patterson coming on at in the next hour. He's gonna come
Okay.
on. We're gonna talk about something. But Mark, I want to really explore in Conroy because Conroy,
Yes, if
there's
you
a reason
want.
why I like interviews. I like interviews because interviews elevate and amplify what a person is and what they have. And I want this opportunity because what I sense is that people buy things from you because of who you are, not just the painting. Am I correct?
Oh, definitely. That is a thing too.
Yeah.
You see, Mark can speak about these things. But
Mm.
based off my essence, I know that human beings have two eyes, two ears. So if one person will see, a next person will see, and
Yes.
what this person see, a next person might not see. So when it come on to even perceiving the value of art, right?
Yes.
It's a very complex thing, because the way how you express yourself as an artist can be the very reason why someone is captivated by your creations. And a next artist can be totally anonymous, mysterious, and that is what causes somebody to buy their work, or it's just the art itself, its aesthetic or emotional value. It's very
Yeah.
complex.
You received the in 2021 the JCDC award, isn't it?
Yes, a merit.
Yeah. You know, and can I just ask, have that also impacted your career and sort of propelled you for because you look like 19 I'll
No
be honest.
man, no man, the most I just bless me with youthful.
Yes, yes,
No
yes.
man, but
I mean, Mark is like
so
21.
Well, me at
all right.
64 now, Bridget. Me at 64.
I know
These are
that, Mark.
man,
So
me not like. Well,
so
God bless you to just the same. Because if you are 64, you
well,
look
you
so.
know, I live in a realm of love in a brethren.
That
You know?
is it,
And
man.
sometimes I give people
No,
two
man, you're
minute
not 64, man. We're not change the conversation, but you lost your birth paper, man.
No, I'm at 64, brethren. Born 1961. But what may I say, right, is that I live in a space of love. And sometimes love allows people who you give chances to come back and do
Mm-hmm.
more damage because you make excuses for their bad behavior. So anytime you walk away from somebody, don't touch that person because me give them every chance in the world to show me
Yeah, I know
the
I
side
know what you mean. I
that
definitely
I'm
know what you
looking
mean.
for. Right.
Mm,
You know?
All right,
But
so
as
s-
relates to art, as relates to art, selling art and all that kind of stuff, I paint to empty my head. I paint because sometimes I go bed on a bridge. I'm get up in the morning. You come like say me live another life when me asleep.
yeah.
Me get up a sweat. Me I fight revolution. I'm asleep. Me get up and take
mm,
on this. I'm wake up tired because it's like me I live in the day and at night when I'm supposed to sleep, my brain I go somewhere else. When I get up with all ideas all 4 o'clock in the morning and write it down just in case I don't remember when I actually wake up.
Mm.
yeah.
So we're always busy thinking how to make sense out of nonsense,
True, true,
So
and how
true.
so if I ask
So
if
about the JCDC,
yeah,
competition, right?
yeah,
Sorry, man.
yeah, yeah, man.
Um, I'm going to be honest with you again.
No, that
All
you're
right,
always
so
honest, brethren.
yeah, man, I'm going to be honest, man, and I don't like to complain.
Yes.
You know, I don't like to complain. It's not a good attitude.
Mm,
But I think there is for me it would have been a misconception of what art should be or what an artist should be, right?
mm,
You know, JCDC competition, this is a national competition. It has been around for generations, right? But the individuals that are there, directors, this, that, they would have changed. And for me, I don't think we celebrate true artistry in Jamaica. You know, I
Mm.
think I think we have tapped into the business of art and ways how the rich hide their money in art. But we're supporting true artistry and artists is concerned. I don't see it because I remember that year. I remember my work and I remember the other works, right?
Mm.
And if you should check the progress of whosoever that was in that competition who won
Yes.
from then to now, you'll see that those people, it's like they were never ever an artist before, right? And me now, right? I would have tried my very best
Mm.
to capitalize on the opportunity of being a part of the competition, right?
Yeah.
So it was never that the organizers of the competition would have seen a talent and they would have surrounded you and all of these things. They have groups that fund artists, fund work, but true artistry, you know, if you don't go to Edna Manley College, I guess you're not an artist, stuff like that. So I never went to Edna Manley College. So for me, I would have felt undermined many times, many times, unappreciated many times. Why I say these things? Because I would have taken the opportunity to use my social media to try to connect with individuals that are a part of, the National Guard, these competition, all of that, and it would have seemed like you're doing all of these things in vain, you know.
Yeah.
I don't like to complain, so that is why I continue to do me. But
You
it
know,
never do
Conroy,
much for me.
let me tell you something, say. You know, one of them, you have some people in Jamaica, say, brethren, they are art connoisseurs and elitists, very elitists. And I'm going to let them know about art more than you, as if they
Hmm.
are, as if they are the authority on art. Well,
Yeah,
here I go
because
on
God
now.
give you a talent. Like, what you gonna
Yeah,
tell me?
yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, here I go on now. It's not a Jamaican call. It's not a person out of Jamaica call me and ask me if I go to the IMF to make a
Mm.
presentation to the managing director.
Yeah, I
It's not a
saw that.
Jamaican.
I saw that.
It's not a Jamaican who do that. It's not a Jamaican thing. All right.
I know you're right,
So,
Mark. I know you're right, Mark.
well,
You see, I would have
well, you say,
reached out to you. You see, when that was showed in Kingston Creative,
oh, okay, yeah, yeah, yeah,
oh,
yeah,
I would
yeah,
have
okay,
reached out to you.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. But
man.
you
So
never
these
reach
are
out
one
to
of
him.
all these that do them thing.
You never reach out to me, brethren. You shall reach out
No,
to
I
me, but
never
because
reach out to you. No, I never reach out to you like for say Ray, but I bless you. I bless you.
well, I
You
wish we
see?
had because I do collaborations, I do like collaboration with excuse me, with Paul
Mm.
Campbell and AJ Brown, where I did an event called Three the Art Way,
Mm.
Mm.
where Paul Paul does a little bit of acting on the show, AJ sing, and me do the food plus show my art. And I also DJ'd at the end of the event. Some of the,
We are
all
say.
these elements. Yeah, man. What you mean, brethren? Me used to go, me used to go school, a brother named Squeeze, Sammy, who used to go JC with me. I were in the same farm at JC. I say
Yeah.
Squeeze a big time man out there when the DJ thing. So,
Yeah.
but let me say this to you. We have a duty and a responsibility to hey, we didn't have to be artists, brethren.
True.
We didn't have to be. So we have to ask ourselves this question. If we're given this opportunity, right?
Mm.
We have to do something with it, you
True.
know?
Mm.
But we also have to understand the challenges of the enemies of freedom and liberation. They're there.
Ah,
They're
you're
there,
talking,
and they
man.
will
You're
and they will
talking, man.
and they will sabotage you. Ali, come tell me that they say, oh, you're, Mark, your arts, you're very inconsistent. Mr. Wolande. I said, no, you're wrong. I am
You're
consistently,
multidimensional.
no, I'm consistently inconsistent.
Yeah,
See
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
I'm not like you, and I don't
yeah,
want to be like you. I'm not
yeah.
gonna plant flowers and trees every day. If
Where
I
she,
feel,
she I say
if I
all
feel,
over the place.
the whom when we forgot. Still in one place, brethren.
yeah, yeah.
Ah,
Well, listen.
exactly.
Well, listen, Mark and Conroy. I want to tie up with Conroy the last bit with Conroy. Conroy, listen.
Yeah.
Um, how can people reach you? How can people reach you? As a matter of
All
fact, as a
right.
matter of fact, as a matter of fact, I'll make it better. I'll make it better. Let me do it better. Let me do it better here.
Yeah,
I
man. I
I will.
want to narrate how them can
Yeah.
reach me too, you
This is
know.
this,
Easy
this is how they
to
can reach you.
purchase my art.
Yeah,
All you
man.
need to do
So,
is
so,
message me.
so,
You'll be in contact with the artist. All right? Easy, easy, easy. So you can always
Mark,
make
Mark,
payment
let me
through
elaborate on
bank
that video,
transfers.
please, Mark. May I
Yeah.
beg?
Go
Cause
on.
you
Go
know
on.
about
Go on.
Mark. Silver, let me
Yeah.
elaborate on what me I say right. So, all right.
Yeah.
So, what I was trying to bring across in this post is that social media has revolutionized many career paths and
Mm,
industries. It is so for art as well, right? So I know that people are expecting to see great art in galleries,
mm,
but imagine Picasso. Picasso could connect with the world on social media. So Picasso would need you to come to the gallery. I don't need a gallery. I can create my own gallery. So I want people to know that we can connect on social media. Conroy underscore green, Instagram. This is where you can actually see me producing my work. You can see the stages, right? You can interact with me, So you feel you have a more intimate connection with the artist, and that is what I want. So my social media account, my TikTok Conroy Green official,
yeah, man.
YouTube Conroy Green Art 876, Conroy Green everywhere.
Yes. Yes. And TikTok as well. 'Cause you're all over
Yeah,
TikTok.
man. Yeah, man. Let's connect through social media, people.
Hey,
And
Conroy, make we link, brethren. When we come back to
Mark,
Jamaica, more we
you're my
link.
general.
no, easy. No, Conroy, where are you? Where are you, Conroy?
You came there. Mark, no remember me, Mark, me's a youth will sing tune to Mark. I tune me no want, I move like me and follow you up, Mark. Me's a man I can cook to ask my wife. Mark, you're afraid if you know say me a prodigy, you not even know me there all along. Yeah?
So when you
Mark
come,
not even know say me know him.
hey, brethren, I'm humbled because me I hear you talk. I'm say, boy,
Mark, me I tell you
this
some
man
daddy when
upon
them
a
share
level.
everything in a Kingston creative. I mean, I said, then wait. This a man a cook. This a man a build furniture. I mean, I said, then I made this boy. I made
Mm.
that
Just a
then.
minute, if you don't mind, I'd like to share with you this painting that I recently did. It's titled Lovebirds.
Oh, no. Yeah.
Gifted that way is a
Nice,
problem.
nice.
Because people make me feel so all my life, true, me can write song, me
Yeah.
can draw, me can talk, me can this. But now I realize say, is an amalgamation of greatness where throughout your whole life, you have to accept it. That's why Mark say Mark just give himself. I saw
Listen,
me
listen,
feel about myself too.
listen, Conroy. Somebody from Germany contacted me when I put out the invitation for the show, and they said they wanted the video which showed the lovebird. So I'm going to ask you this question, and I'm also going to put it
Lovebird
to Mark.
soul.
Yeah, well, I know that. So the question is this now. This is a question. What if someone like one of your art which you show, and of course
Mm,
these art may not stay there because they're sold because people like it. If somebody
yes.
wants one, what do you do? The same one, what do you do?
All right.
And I put it
All
to
right.
Mark
So
after as well.
so 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 the same one. We're gonna eliminate that.
Yes.
Me, I don't want to sell prints. I want to sell original paintings. So you
Yes.
might see a painting and you say, Conroy, I'd like to purchase this one. And Conroy said, that one is sold. So what I can do is I can make a replica. It obviously won't be the exact same thing. Reason
Yes.
being for me, every art, you know what I mean, has its own essence. Every
Mm.
creation has its own essence. And that's exactly what I put into my creation. So I want every individual to feel appreciated when they acquire my art, you know? So even if you see it and it look that way, when you get it, it's supposed to have a unique touch for
A
you.
unique touch. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So
Well,
people. So
Conrad,
Mark. Yes.
this is what I do. Okay, I do what's called original prints.
Mm.
Now, this is what makes the original. I do a G-Clay on, print on canvas, obviously. If a person wants a similar painting, and what I do is that I put my own, I embellish it in a way that I choose to do it. So, and I don't think anybody does that. It's like 20 people who want in the same paint and say, yo, I cannot do that. But now I replicate the exact facility to you. What I can do is make original prints. So I make a print of the original, and a man might be sitting on there with a cane, and the next print is him with a cigar. So
Yes.
it becomes an
Yeah,
original
man.
print,
Yes.
Yes.
which I don't know who does that, but
That me I deal with.
I
That me I
started
deal
that
with.
about I started that about probably 12 years ago. Maybe that's something to consider because
It's here, man. Me I deal with.
it cut down on your time. You just do a high quality print, and
Yes.
then them can't say it's not an original because guess what? Blank canvas, painted canvas, a canvas.
No,
What
sir.
makes
Big artists not do that.
no do what?
I want you get the original.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. But what I'm saying to you though,
And
I
Yeah,
and
the
understand
direct.
that.
original I want you have.
I understand that. But
Yeah.
I
No,
I
me I say when you
me
was say my brother are the same thing, are the same meds me have, yeah.
right. I look on art for the people. Seeing? I don't care
Yes,
what
man.
the establishment say
No, man,
because
that
them not
everybody for buy my artwork.
that's what it's all about. So if you out there
Yes.
so now and when you talk about people buying your art because of who it is,
Yeah.
it's actually true because there are great painters out of China, bro, doing fabulous works. But them not really a bite. Because them
Yeah.
don't know the artist, them don't know the artist and the brethren. Them have the technical ability. But guess what now? When you put your spin on it, you are paint from an ancestral the lineage from where you deal with you know. I mean, these
Talk
are
no
things
man,
that come from
Mark.
a
Well,
bigger
listen.
place.
Well, listen. Conroy, and Mark. Well, this is just a start of a bigger thing. We have to continue this. We have to do a part two and a part three. Well, Mark is
Yes.
always on anyway. Mark is always
No, me
on
just I
regular.
get started.
It just like get started. Just like get
Just a
started.
warm up. Just a warm
Yeah.
up.
Just a
Yeah. We have to go. We
warm
have
up.
Just
to
a
go.
warm up.
We'll go for the next segment with Joseph Patterson shortly, and I do. But
Well, let me say
Conroy, yeah, go on.
let me say something about Joseph Paz before you leave, okay? Because
Yeah.
and I'll say
Joseph
this.
link between you.
Huh?
I will I will say this. I will say this without apology.
Yes.
Without apology. We need to ensure that Joseph Patterson gets a chance to go on those stage
Mm.
with Mark Golden and Andrew Holness.
Me
Yes.
could do it then, no? Me could do it.
We
We can do
need
it.
we need another option.
We
We need
can
to
do
hear
it.
another area of economic development.
Yeah.
Joseph will, but I want to tell you, they won't. They may not want to debate him because I think he'll destroy them.
Mm.
Mm.
Because although we may have personal differences,
Yes.
Joseph,
Solid.
man, we know, but I look on the bigger picture.
Yes.
I may not like somebody or whatever, but if you are do what you do for better the country, I'm there with you,
Yes,
Mm.
man.
There with you. And I'm saying to you that the UIC is a registered political party. I'm lick out against things what Joseph do because I'm like that. I'm not really about to know guy. They have to
Mm.
know me thing. But at the same time, I look for the collective good. And the
Mm.
collective good is to having another conversation about
True.
how the country needs to be transformed.
True.
And the two that's up there right now, them not really a cut it. Them not coming nothing different, you know. Them just a say, hey, vote for me because me better than them. And that is
Boy,
we are beyond that now, brethren
All
and sisters.
right.
this
We're
is the
beyond that.
segue. This is the segue into the show. Conroy, your
Yeah.
last word. Your
Yeah,
last word,
man.
Conroy. Your
Yeah,
last word,
man.
Conroy.
Thank you so very much for having me, Stillborn. I
Yes.
appreciate you, my brother. It's amazing to have a platform to express yourself, especially in a positive way. For
Yes.
young people now, elder folks, for us to connect like this to bridge the gap with the youths and our leaders, our experienced ones. So I appreciate you, Mark, for coming on as well.
I
Thanks to
appreciate
everybody
you,
that
bro. I appreciate you more
joined.
than you understand.
Yeah,
Than you
man.
really understand.
Yeah, man. Big up your audience from all over
Yes.
the world. Big up your
And
audience. Thanks
and
for tuning
Conroy,
in.
just one word here, and Mark as well. If there's a similar person listening, and this may reach someone who hasn't been through a formal studies and is a self-taught, what would you say to them? Someone listening now who really love painting, what would you say to them to inspire them to get on the track, Jack? Conroy. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So for me, um, it's to know that God has authorized, your blessings. You find that you go to school is a man, authorize your capabilities. Whatsoever degree, whatsoever certificate, someone states that this is what you're capable of. You not having that don't mean that you're you're not privileged, or you're not worthy. You know,
Mm.
be grateful for what you have. Be grateful for what you have. Yeah, because remember, every single house you have a chair and you have a bed, and it takes
Mm.
a carpenter to do that. So
Mm.
even a simple craft, even your simple abilities
Yes.
can make you somebody that is worthy in every household.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. And Mark?
Well, all I can tell you is that, and this is my philosophy, I do not allow anybody to tell me what I can and cannot do.
Yes.
And my background and the things I've accomplished in my life speaks for itself. And I'm
Mm.
gonna leave you with four things that I've done, which you may not even know.
Yes.
Number one, as a fine artist, I'm the only Jamaican to have cooked on every network in America as a professional chef. Yet
Mm.
still, I never went to a chef school. I'm the
Mm.
only Jamaican to have gotten money from the IMF that I don't have to repay it. All right. I'm the only Jamaican and the only person in Jamaica to have gone before Parliament that end up on Al Jazeera to force Parliament to put sprinklers on a mud lake in Mandeville. I'm the only Jamaican to have done that. You
Mm.
Yes.
understand? I'm the only Jamaican to have built four townhouses out of Cutstone in Mandeville. Google
Mm.
Cutstone experiment and you'll see me stand in front of the homes.
Mm.
Yet, I didn't go to school as a builder.
Whoa.
So
Whoa.
what may I say here, right? Do not allow lesser than you to tell you what to do with your life, brethren.
Yes.
Because most of them man them don't even know them left foot from right foot. I want to come tell you what to do. Only because them jealous and bad mind.
Yes.
And them don't know say now watch them, but them I watch you and you do your thing and them fill with
Talk
the
to
hate.
man, Mark, man. I'm a teacher.
So
Yes.
that me I try to tell you, so don't make anybody, do not allow anybody to tell you what you can and cannot do. And I'm going to give you
Thank you.
That's
one quick example. One quick example.
Yes.
You know, some girl back in the day when I date a girl, right? Um, she may not be the best looking,
Mm.
but she believes she's the best looking. And after a while, you start believe her.
Mm.
And that me I talk about.
me like
All
So
right.
her style.
All right. All right.
only you can project who you are. Nobody else speaks for you,
Ah,
my brothers and
Mark.
sisters.
Hey,
Yes. Yes.
Mark,
You
you're
understand that?
talking, Mark.
I
Mark,
won't.
Mark, listen, Virgin, thank you guys so much tonight, yeah, and for the linking up. And ladies and
Yeah,
gentlemen, you can
man. I
contact Conroy Green.
appreciate you. I
Yes,
appreciate you, gentlemen. Listen, let me tell you,
yes,
man. Let me tell you,
yes,
man. Let me tell you. We know what our society, Jamaica, is today, you know.
yes,
For me not so young, but me gonna call myself young. For a
yes.
young man like myself to be on this platform with two of you,
Mm,
and the things them with me I get from uno, me I tell you say, me can build my entire life with it.
amen.
Words,
Yes,
you know, but it more than just words. We need more of them thing and bridging. You
yes.
understand? Yeah, man, we
Well,
give thanks, man.
well,
Yeah,
definitely.
thank you, Silburn. Silburn has been in the fight for a while. Enough.
Yeah, man.
I appreciate you a lot, bro. In
Yes,
my,
Mark.
my bone of fire all the
What a
time.
link, you know. What a link, you know, coming on overdo the time.
Yeah, yeah. Definitely, Mark. Respect, Mark. Take care of yourself, right? And
Yeah,
tune in
man.
Yeah,
this
man,
week.
Respect. Hey,
appreciate
Conroy,
it, man.
blessings, brethren.
What
Yes.
a
And more
link.
blessings, dear sir. Yeah, we will.
Yeah.
For sure.
All right, all right, all
Take
right,
All
all
care.
right,
right, all
all right.
right.
Conroy, listen. Thank you so much for coming on. And ladies and gentlemen, you can tune in to Conroy. Go on TikTok. He's all over on TikTok, left, right, and center. He's showing and he's painting his mobile number. It's going across the screen. You can always see it, and you can always screenshot it, and his email address as well, and his Instagram as well, and his YouTube as well. Everything is Conroy Green, Conroy
Well
Green,
done,
Conroy Green,
Silver. Well
and
done.
Conroy
Well
Green.
done.
Brethren, it was a pleasure meeting you. A
Well
pleasure
done,
that you
Silver.
we linked up. We
Well
link up,
done.
brethren.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you, my brother. God
All
bless
right.
you, man.
So
Take care.
my
Yeah.
regards to your wife and the family. Okay, respect, brethren.
All right. Yeah, man. Big
All
up,
right,
big up, big up.
respect. Thank you, thank you. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining, and we're going on to the next segment now. I'm going to wait for Mr. Joseph Patterson to come on, and the great interview discussion that I had with Mr. Conroy Green, and also joined by my bona fide brethren, Mr. Mark Article Renaissance Cameron from the States there as well. But listen, one of the reasons why I want Joseph Patterson on tonight, because I've noticed something in the horizon. I've noticed something in Jamaica whereby there's the talk of a national debate. There's a talk of a national debate, and what I'm getting to understand is that the UIC, one of the third party in Jamaica, registered United Independent Congress, is not on the list or not maybe been a part of it. And also, I noticed that the UIC have complained and said that even with the prayer breakfasts, that they have not been on the invitation for that. And for years, they kept saying that they keep oversight and they keep oversight. But there's something I thought of. 2010, if you guys remember, there was this general election in the UK, and there was David Cameron and there was Gordon Brown. David Cameron for the Conservative and Gordon Brown for the Labour Party. But there was the Lib Dems who was trying to get in onto this national debate. And therefore, guess what? The national debate brought in Nick Clegg, right? The advantage of Nick Clegg joining the national debate before the UK 2010 general election, inclusion in this debate provided several strategic advantage for himself and the Lib Dems. We all know what happened, and I remember watching, going back and forth, the Lib Dems became the kingmaker. There's a massive surge in public profile when Clegg, initially less known than his rivals, was introduced to millions of viewers on equal footing with the leaders of the two main parties, Conservative and Labour. His strong performance led to a phenomenon dubbed Cleggmania, with instant polls declaring him the debate winner and a rapid rise in public support. Because I do remember this particular debate because David Cameron kept saying, I agree with Nick. Gordon Brown said, I agree with Nick. And everybody was agreeing with Nick. There was an increased leverage in coalition negotiations. The visibility and credibility gained from the debate positioned Clegg and the Lib Dem as pivotal players in the event of a hung parliament, which ultimately happened. This gave them significant negotiating power in forming the coalition government. Policy and party distinction. Clegg used the debates to differentiate the Liberal Democrats from Labour and the Conservative, present his party as a genuine alternative. Shift in election dynamics. The debate energized the campaign, made the Liberal Democrats a serious contender, and forced the major parties to address them as a potential coalition partners. Chase, please find Mr. Joseph Patterson. We're ready for him because there is something else, ladies and gentlemen. There is something else, and this is it. Possibility of a similarity with upcoming election in Jamaica. Jamaica 2025 election landscape. The main party is the Jamaica Labour Party led by Andrew Holness, and the People's National Party led by Mark Golding are the established rivals. Third party presence. Joseph Patterson United Independence Congress represents a smaller alternative party similar to the Lib Dems position in 2010 UK politics. Potential parallels. Visibility through debates. If Jamaica holds a televised leaders debate and Joseph Patterson is included alongside Holness and Golden, he could benefit from a surge in public recognition and credibility, much like Nick Clegg did. This exposure could allow the UIC to present itself as a viable alternative to the two dominant parties. Influence in a close election. The 2025 Jamaica election is expected to be competitive, with several marginal seats and no overwhelming favorite. If no party wins a clear majority, listen to this, and this is similar to what happened with the Lib Dems and the Conservative and Labour. The Labour and the Conservative did not win a clear majority. A small party like the UIC hold the balance of power, similar to what happened with the Lib Dems, giving it leverage in coalition talks or policy negotiations, similar to the Lib Dem in 2010. Shaping the narrative. Participation in a national debate would allow Patterson and UIC to highlight their distinct policies and appeal to voters dissatisfied with the status quo, potentially shifting the election narrative and attracting new supporters. The key differences is that election system and tradition. Jamaica political landscape has historically been dominated by two political parties, and coalition governments are rare. The UK 2010 scenario was notable because a hung parliament was relatively uncommon, whereas Jamaica's system and political culture may not as readily accommodate a third party breakthrough or coalition. Right? Recent Jamaican polls show the JLP and PNP remain the primary contenders, with other parties, including UIC, polling significantly lower. However, in a close race with a high voter dissatisfaction, a strong debate performance could still shift dynamics. And ladies and gentlemen, if you recall, in the last general election, there was 708,000, I believe, persons turn out to vote. There was 1.92 million people on the voters list. Therefore, 37.5% or so turn out to vote of that 1.92 million. So the big question is, where is this 63%? Who are they listening to? When will they move? What will spur them on? What will inspire them? What will motivate them? Nick Clegg participation in the 2010 leaders debate transformed his and his party's fortunes, leading to a surge in support and pivotal influence in coalition formation. If Joseph Patterson and the UIC are included in Jamaica national debates, they could experience similar advantages: greater visibility, credibility, and potential leverage, especially if the election results in a close contest. However, political traditions and current polling trends suggest that a third party breakthrough or coalition remains a challenging prospect, though not impossible. Well, that was my monologue starting the discussion. Now, it would be great to have Mr. Joseph Patterson Chase Neal or so. Um, I'm waiting for Mr. Patterson to join, and let me see if I can find him. But at the end of the day, I sort of set out the case, and I believe that it is very important for um, third parties to be a part of the national debate competition. Yep, and to be able to because I believe that people in Jamaica are looking for options. I'll say options. You know, you know. Yep. Please do. Let me send you the link. Chase. I definitely, yeah. You please. I need you to jump in. 1 second. I'm just getting someone to join in the discussion. Yeah. It is so very important, and I believe that all Jamaicans, majority of Jamaicans, should seek for any parties which are registered to be on that debating floor. In the UK, we have seen just recently with the last general election, we saw Reform, we saw Lib Dems, we saw the Green, we saw Plaid Cymru, we saw SNP. There's a massive amount of persons now. There's no more this two-party thing. And now even with the Reform has rised up to the challenge. And Reform is now giving the Conservatives a hard time. The Reform is giving the Labour a hard time. The present um, government is somewhat trying to is grappling for life to a certain extent. So therefore, there's no more, I would say, in the UK of a two-party definite system. It has opened and it's wide. And I believe one of the factors that created it to happen was due to the 2010 general election when they gave Nick Clegg a foothold in that debating floor and to be a part of the national debate. And people were able to hear, people were able to think, people were able to say, hang on a second, Nick Clegg is coming with something different. But then it was like the nation spoke, the UK, and I do remember it just like yesterday. The nation spoke, and the nation said, I do not trust you alone. I do not want Labour either. I want you to work with the Lib Dems, right? And therefore, of course, the Lib Dems suffered as a result of that. But they're on the rise again. But the nation spoke because when a nation speak based on the figures, the nation speak as a, what are the people saying? What is the people of the United Kingdom saying? It'd be great to know what is Jamaicans saying. You know, where is this 37 point? Where is this 63%? Who are they? Where are they? What is it that they are looking for? Why is there this apathy? Some are, I know people are actually saying it makes no difference. It makes no difference for me to vote PNP. It makes no difference for me to be JLP. I'm at the same thing, right? So some people are homeless. So will this 63% make a dent in the whole process? Right? It's time for the UIC to show up. You know, it's time for the UIC to show up because, as far as I'm concerned, you know, the people will only move towards those who are moving towards them. That's what the Lib Dem says. Chase, let me know if you're coming in, and Joseph, let me know if you're coming in. And but I've said my piece anyhow in regards to my analysis of this whole thing and the potential which is there for uh, a difference to be made based on the national debate. Who who are the persons who are responsible for the national debate? Who will who will connect the dots? Who will reach out to the uh the persons responsible for the national debate? Should there be a letter writing competition? When I say competition, not a competition, should there be a lobbying factor to say that you need? I believe actually there's four, if anything, four political parties in Jamaica now. Four registered political parties in Jamaica, if I'm not mistaken. Somebody can correct me if anything. I know of PNP, I know of GLP, I know of UIC, but they said there's another one. Is it NDM or so? Four political parties. You know, very important. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you so much for joining. Thank you for those who are joining me on Instagram, those who are joining me on Facebook, those who are joining me on YouTube, those who are joining me. And, remember to like, remember to share, and let us hear what the people responsible for the national debate are the same people in government. They run things, they are the gatekeepers. There we go. There we The people responsible for the national debate are the same people in government. They run things. They are the gatekeepers. Is that so? Hello, Miss. Hey, Sir Patterson.
Good
You there?
evening or good afternoon, Mr. Fidel. How are you doing?
Not bad.
Silberg.
Not bad. Not bad. How are you, boss? How are you?
Fine, thank you. Sorry to be late. I was in transit and I got caught up in traffic.
Yes, 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 yes. That's understandable. I guess your picture is not coming up, but that's all right. I guess we've seen
Yeah, you
your
just see my little, what do you call it there now?
your
But just a
your
picture of me. Yeah, you can't see me right now. I'm too
yeah.
tired and hungry.
But I won't keep you too long. But I don't know if you're able to listen to my opening.
No, I heard nothing. I heard nothing. Sorry.
Yeah. But anyway, what I did, Mr. Patterson, was I set out the case of what transpired when Nick Clegg was given the opportunity to be on the platform at the national debate in 2010 in the UK. And by virtue of such, it made a dent whereby the David Cameron say I agree with Nick. Um, Gordon Brown say I agree with Nick. And therefore, when both of them weren't able to get the majority that they needed, Nick Clegg, Lib Dem, became the kingmaker. Now, the big question now is, and I'm going to ask you this question, and I don't know if a date has been done yet because the election has not called yet. Is it been premature to say that you're not a part of the debate, or is it, or what? What's the
Well,
situation?
well, it's premature to say we're not, but
Yeah.
it's not unrealistic to not expect us. Meaning, in the last election cycle, the debates commission excluded us on some foolish grounds. And what we explained to the world was that it's very simple. Jamaica has a process for registering political parties, and the
Mm.
UIC was the first political party in Jamaica outside of the two colonial ones that makes the rules. We were the first ones to successfully comply with those rules and even help to shape some of the rules because midway through the process they changed the rules on us and we had to comply with new adjustments. But we did it. And so once we have qualified to be Jamaica's official third registered party, there should be no reason why we're not included in the debates. But the debates commission, of course, just like the churches and all of those other groups, the media, they find reasons and basis for excluding us from things.
So, question then, how can then this be rectified? Then is it that people need to be put in pressure, or what? Is there any legal
Yeah,
way?
man. There are always legal ways you can seek to challenge, but of course, do you have the funds and resources and time? And by the time you succeed at the legal
Election done.
challenge, the election done. But the
Mm.
people though can put pressure. If the Jamaican people would take our cue and get excited and engaged about pushing for their rights, because it's not so much the UIC, it's their rights. They're being denied access to hear the views of a registered, not just another party, not a group. You have many groups that want to be involved in the political process, but they are not able to comply with the requirements to be registered. And we were the first outside of the two colonial parties to achieve that status and still being ignored. So people should say, listen, man, we want to hear what the UIC um, has to say on the same stage with the other two colonial parties. We want to see them side by side and hear their policies and proposals. But I can assure you that the PSOJ oligarchs who control the debates commission and who also controls the two parties and who also controls the media, they do not want the Jamaican people to hear what the UIC have to say. They're scared to death. For example, suppose the Jamaican people hear the truth that the land that we have in Jamaica should have been returned to them long time ago,
Yes.
and it has not been returned to them. They're being forced to slave to buy back what is theirs by birthright, and then on top of that, being taxed a rent every year in property tax for the land that their ancestors died for. Them don't want the people to hear this because they want to continue to control our lands and sell it to who they think they want to sell it to at whatever exorbitant prices they want to sell them at. They make themselves richer. So they don't want to hear the UIC policies. They want to keep the Jamaican people in the dark. And so far, they have succeeded in doing that for the last 80 years. And we have to stop it.
You know, one of the things I said earlier was visibility through debates, and I use a comparison with Nick Clegg, the 2010 election in the UK. If Jamaica holds a televised leaders debate and Joseph Patterson is included alongside Holness and Golan, he could benefit from a surge in public recognition and credibility, much like Nick Clegg did. Is that the fair?
Well, of course. I mean, the majority of the Jamaican people still continue to see traditional media as an authenticator, as something that says, yeah, man, I'm legit. Say they don't see you. And that is why they have kept us out of mainstream media. They have ensured that the Jamaican people don't. So every day, right? Every single day, every single solitary day on the news, you will see the two parties always on the news every day. No days missed where you don't see those two parties in the news. And in the same breath, you don't see the UIC in the news. So people tend to think, oh, them not ready then, them not meaningful then, them not worthy of much then, because we're not seeing them in the traditional news space. And so the moment they fly the gate and give us the same access and stop this apartheid system, the people will then have a different impression and will be more inclined now to hear. But as I said before, the PSOJ oligarchs, they cannot afford for the Jamaican people to hear the UIC's policies. If they hear from the UIC policy, for example, that we are actually going to change the colonial system that they have been suffering under, and here is our brilliant plan to do so. Here is our better system of governance, and we explain how the system works so they can see how they have been denied their rights. The people will turn. They don't want the people to turn. They want to continue to dominate our economy, control our economy, and rip off the Jamaican people.
It is interesting because, and it's so very obvious. It says participation in a national debate would allow UIC Patterson to highlight their distinct policies and appeal to voters dissatisfied with the status quo. Because, as I said in my opening as well, and I always say this, and always say this all the while, we always talk about this. There was 37% turnout to vote of that
Yeah,
1.92 million, Joseph. That was
yeah,
700,000. Therefore,
yeah.
there is 63%. Who are these 63%? These 63% want to hear something, but are you saying what we are picking up is that they are shut out? The gate closed on them.
Yeah,
Them
them
can't hear.
can they're taking away the franchise from these people. They're disenfranchising them because, and as a matter of fact, Fidel, remember in the last local election, it's 70% that didn't vote. In the previous general, it's 63, and in the one before it was 52, and the one before it was 48. So every single major election cycle, the number of persons opting out is is increasing and to an alarming level where almost two-thirds of your nation now is
Mhm.
not involved. And watch this carefully. What this means is that the government of Jamaica is illegitimate. In fact, the current government, the oldest government, only received 21% of the total possible votes to form the government. And they had a sweeping majority with 21% because the rest of Jamaicans didn't. And the opposition only received 16% of the total possible votes. So the other people in Jamaica are looking for something different, but they can't hear it because the PSOJ oligarchs Remember, they don't only control the debates commission, they also control funding to political parties. In the last election, they gave them over $350 million, the two
Wow.
parties. In this election, they're going to give about $500 million. So the PSOJ oligarchs have a lock on our government. It's a monopoly. They control, because it doesn't matter which of the two you vote for, they are still the controlling element. So they have a lock on our economy, a lock on our government, and by extension, they have a lock on the Jamaican people. They are dictating policies, they're dictating regulations, and they're using it to suppress the small man, suppress small businesses, and extract the wealth of Jamaica while keeping a low wage environment that is stifling Jamaica and causing us to lose our best and brightest as they flee the country for better and greener pastures.
How can this be circumvented? Can it be
Well,
circumvented?
it can be. All we have to do, we the people, you included, all of us in the diaspora, all of us in Jamaica locally, come together and do what the UIC has always said to do: own through own party. The PSOJ own the other two. We the people must now join, volunteer, and donate to own the UIC. Come vote in our election to select who is the president, who is vice president, to help shape policy, be a part of the discussion. So you own the party there. So when election time come now, you will have two options: the PSOJ's two parties and the UIC, which is the People's Party, owned and funded by the people. Just like how the PSOJ own and fund them too there, so they can control the country. Let we, the people, all of us, the 4 million Jamaicans abroad and the 3 million a yard, rise up and own the UIC and use that now to take back our country, dash with the colonial constitution, dash with the top-down economics, and bring in a bottom-up economics, a Afrocentric curriculum, restoration of the land to the people, and give us a bottom-up economy that will bring prosperity, not for a few, but for the broad majority.
Joseph, there's another point though, and this is it. What can Jamaicans do now to put pressure on the National Debating Association?
Go
Uh,
on social media and uh, on the debates commission social
yeah,
media pages and tell them you demand that the UIC be added. Go on radio, call the radio, call the television, and demand, call the UIC and say, come, make us have a protest in front of the debates commission. Let it be people led. The last time when I lead it,
yeah.
them locked me up. Right?
Mm,
So let it be
mm,
people led. So all of we know. And in the diaspora, call, write, send email, and then keep copies of your correspondence and post it on social media. Go on TikTok. Everybody now can turn on them camera if they want and go on TikTok and call out the debates commission, call out the electoral office of Jamaica, call out the two colonial parties and say they must stop it. Call out the media and say stop it. Let us hear what the UIC has to say, because we're tired of just hearing the tricks, the trickery, and the deception and distraction of the two colonial parties, which are one and the same, just two sides of the same coin.
how many political parties? How many official registered political parties are in Jamaica now?
There are four registered parties, and hear me clearly on this. There are four,
Yes,
right? You have the two
yes,
back in 2017, 18, 17, 16, 17. The two colonial parties, under the auspices of their colonial masters, brought in new laws and new regulations requiring parties to register. Prior to that, these two parties had a free for all, did whatever they want. They realize, though, that the country is at a precarious position where people are starting to look for something else. So they passed these laws to, in effect, get rid of third parties. So in 2018, they got rid of all third parties and you only had two parties in Jamaica officially now by law. The UIC challenged that system and battled with it for 2 years. 1 year preparing and 1 year fighting with them to accept their own standards. The very standards they set, we met all of
yeah,
them and they didn't want to accept it. Now we got it. And then once that was done now, the UIC became the official third party. Just before the 2020 election, they quickly approved a fourth. But the purpose of that fourth is simply to be a distraction. Notice that fourth party didn't exist anymore until now we're about to have an election again. They pop up
yeah.
again. So they're really a distraction. So that party is not to be taken seriously. Their goal is really to undermine because they know how the Jamaican people are, right? We're not very sophisticated and intellectual. So all you have to do when the time comes, just put in a distraction, put in confusion, and the people will default to the norm. They'll just go back. Sure, me can't bother with that. There's too much
Can't bother.
confusion.
Can't
And
bother.
what they do exactly, and what they do too with this fake fourth party, what they do with that fake fourth party is this: they get them to make outlandish claims. They're gonna pay off the debt in 30 days. They're gonna buy massive aircraft and tankers, all kind of foolishness. And that does create a lot of hysteria. People, foolishness that. And they just go back to the two. It must not be allowed to work this time. We must focus on the three real parties in Jamaica. And it's the two that is run by the PSOJ oligarch, and the third, or the only one, which is owned by the people of Jamaica, and that is the UIC.
It is very interesting you're saying this, and I said I've been looking at it and listening to it, and I was speaking to even another person today, and we're talking about the power of third parties being the kingmaker. We're not expecting you, of course, Joseph, to win 63 seats, but of course to win some significant seats that can, you know, change the game, be a disruptor in the process. And I believe that Jamaica is a right time for this. You know, people are saying
Absolutely.
Barack Obama would never be president. He became president twice. If it was a Trump would never
Exactly.
be president, Trump would twice. I believe nothing is impossible because even today I was on TikTok walking in the park and I was in a political mood. And this person came on and said, "Why are you guys trying to attack the prime minister?" I said, "What?" And then the person said, "Why are you guys in the diaspora want to undermine Jamaica?" I said, "What?" You know what I'm trying to say? And this is a sort of thinking that needs to be challenged.
Of course,
Because
because what they're saying is the prime minister should they want bad governance to continue, where we must not question the prime minister, we must not question his finances, we must not question his continued violation of the weak constitution we already have, his consistent attempts to undermine the very structures of governance that are in place at the moment. We must not question anything. But
Mhm.
here's the worst part. Here's the worst part of all of this. The worst part
Yeah.
of all of this is that if we do not have a one or two or three or five UIC candidates elected in the next election, what you're going to have is cementing, a cementing of permanent bad governance. The Prime Minister wants to undermine the Integrity Commission. The Prime
Mhm.
Minister wants to undermine the judiciary. The Prime
Yes.
Minister wants to undermine transparency in the contractual process. The Prime Minister wants to undermine the entire fabric of what we believe to be a democracy. And so,
Mhm.
if we do not stand up now and get a third voice in the House, it means we're locking ourselves. Because, to be honest with you, Mark Golding and the PNP is extremely weak. They're really no real competition for the existing government. And the reason why they're not is because they have undermined their own authority. They have failed the Jamaican people so many times, and no other party has had 18 and a half years straight in office to fix things. And they came out of 18 and a half years, they came out leaving Jamaica bankrupted with FinSac and all of that, right? So they're not credible. They're just not credible. And this party now, the one in power, they are a PR party. They're very good at PR. They're very good at propaganda. They're very good at misleading people. And
Mhm.
so we run the risk of electing either of them and continuing the process. Now, here's the thing: having the UIC in office with one or two seats or three or four seats, we now will have the balance of power, meaning neither of them may form the government. Listen to me carefully.
Yes.
We expect a very close election again. We have had a number of close elections in recent history, a number of them, except the last one because of COVID. Normally, you're going to have a 31, 32, or 33, 30, or 29, 30, 34 kind of position, right? If the UIC wins one seat and you have a 31, 31, neither of them can form the majority. They'll need to come to us, which means we'd be able to influence policy. If we have five seats and the two of them have 28 each, right?
Yes.
You have a situation again where the UIC would have the balance of power. And even though they may have a larger number of seats, they now need to come and negotiate with us, consult with us before they can just rip off the Jamaican people fully. Now you're going to have a voice in the House with resources, with
Mm.
insights, with credibility to be able to call them out and hold press conferences in front of Gordon House and get the message out to the Jamaican people whenever and however they try to undermine us at any level. For example, we didn't know that they were taking money to brainwash Jamaicans into certain kind of lifestyle. We didn't know that until the current president and what's happening in the US. We get the details on what they're doing. If you had a third party in the house that have access to information quickly, we can tell the Jamaican people as soon as you're trying to sell us out, whether it's with our oil, whether it's with bauxite, whether it's with land, whether it's with tourism, whether it's with Chinese coming in to take over our industries, whatever it is, you will now have an eagle eye UIC. Look how much we have done without any taxpayers' money. We have represented the Jamaican people on so many fronts and forced the government to have to change course without having a single seat in parliament. Just imagine when we have one, two, three, four, five, or 15 seats.
Mm. Sometimes people will say to me, I hear of the UIC, but I do not know what they stand for. Um, in a nutshell, and I always tell the direct them and say, listen, there's an interview I had with them, and you can see the details. I interviewed Joseph Patterson when he was in London a few years ago, and also the website. If you're going to put in a nutshell, Mr. Patterson, for
Yeah,
someone who says, what does UIC stand for? If you can reel off maybe
sure.
five,
It,
6 policies, sir, please.
without even talk about policies, the
Yeah.
UIC first and foremost is a freedom party. We are very focused on protecting the rights and freedoms of the Jamaican people. See, when you talk about a party which is strict on being a republic, strict on being a constitutional republic, strict on creating the fundamentals for success in Jamaica. What are the fundamentals? A safe space, making Jamaica safe, a clean Jamaica, a orderly Jamaica, a Jamaica where all of us can live, earn, and retire with dignity. And for that to happen, you need to fight against all forms of corruption and make Jamaica a country that is a model of good governance in the world. If you put in place good governance, you're going to get value for money from our taxes, lower costs due to corruption, and higher benefit due to effective and efficient projects being implemented, such as better infrastructure, better schooling, better healthcare, and an economy which is bottom up rather than top down. And by bottom up, what do I mean? Removing the regulations and laws which gives big business a monopoly over our enterprises, allowing the small man, the medium enterprises, to actually have full access to the economy, full access to credit, so that they can grow and create more jobs for Jamaicans as opposed to having foreigners owning everything and then controlling the amount of jobs available and by extension reducing the wage rates that we can earn. The UIC understands our economy, it understands our systems, and it's going to give us the kind of incentivized system that will bring out the best in our people. I'm not hearing you. I'm not hearing you.
Sorry, my apologies. I'd put on
Yeah,
my mute. I was drinking some water a while ago. Um, the government is on a quest, and I can see, and everybody is seeing like the breaking of ground. So many new things are happening, as if just first after so many years, so many things are happening. But I want to pinpoint one thing: the bus which the government has brought in. What's your take on it? Because I believe
sure.
sometimes the people are not being told the full story, from an objective.
No, no, yeah. They're being misled. They're being
Yeah,
misled.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
and all of what you're talking about, let's look at all the projects that they're doing, all these projects. They're putting up buildings. What are these buildings for? There are buildings that are being owned by foreign enterprises, foreign interests. So they're building and they're doing things, but all those things are leaving the Jamaican people behind. So the majority of Jamaicans are remaining janitors, servants,
Mm,
wage slaves, and tenants in their own country. So the development is not for Jamaica. It's for take a look at what they've done with our tourism. We have a very very successful, all-inclusive type tourist industry in Jamaica, but who gets the profits? The owners or foreigners,
mm,
right? The government gets money, and those money does what? it doesn't result in the quality of life of the Jamaican people improving. We don't get better roads, we don't get better schools, we don't get better hospitals, we don't get more opportunities for professionals to stay in Jamaica here and work and live a decent life. So where's this money going? It's going back into the hands of external parties, foreign parties, and into the corrupt hands of politicians who then use it for other things other than development. So these developments are only superficial. It's like, for example, what they told us, we're the lowest unemployment rate. But what does that mean? It simply means the formula for calculating the employment rate is simple. When you turn off a lot of people and they stop looking for work, you no longer count them in the employment base. And so you give an artificial and false low unemployment rate when there are thousands of Jamaicans who are not only unemployed, but they have given up looking for work. So this is the kind of nuanced analysis which the Jamaican people do not hear because Mark Golding and the PNP are not interested in doing that because they're the same thing. If they're elected, they're going to continue the same kind of fake development where you have pretty things that the Jamaican people can't afford, can't go to, can't be a part of unless they're just a servant in the process. We don't want a Jamaica where the people are merely servants and tenants in their own country. We want a Jamaica where the people are enjoying the prosperity. We want a Jamaica like Singapore, where the average citizen is enjoying a high standard of living, not simply having a pretty little spaces in the country like we have here, some pretty areas that the
Yes.
rich and powerful come to and enjoy, and the rest of us just look at it longingly and can never get up there. We can only get a job at night to clean the bathroom or to stand as a security guard at the door. We don't want that kind of development. We want real development that really impact the lives of our people at the kitchen table in their houses. We want our people to be able to live in decent homes, be able to fix their roof, be able to fix their plumbing, be able to fix their electricity, be able to afford decent housing and not just simply longingly look at the 20, $30 million house that they can never buy. They can only long for it. And that's what creates the crime and violence because too many people know that they can't achieve this unless they engage in corruption or crime.
One of the things which you said, and I've always said it even before we spoke, was about the land. I always say
Yes,
1962, the land in Jamaica should have been apportioned to the people of Jamaica to give them a leg up. And this whole UDC thing is a scam factor. I always say this all the
yes.
while.
Hmm.
The people should have had the opportunity so they can actually own something. So now you have
Absolutely.
these squatters. Just elaborate on that because I believe that
Yeah,
is
man.
something
Yeah,
which is
man.
so powerful,
So,
Joseph. It's
so
so, so powerful.
in 1834, they said that they're freeing the slaves. They're freeing our foreparents. They said they're freedom, but that was a fake freedom because they really didn't give them back any of the three things they stole from them. They stole their land, they stole their labor, and they stole their learning. And in 1834, all they gave them in 1834 was the freedom to go and beg back a job, a low wage job from the plantocracy, those who continue to own the plantation and the mercantile class and the merchandising class. So that was a fake freedom. They never gave them back the land or any land, as a matter of fact. And so 100 years from there, 1834 to 1944, they then gave them a fake democracy, the right to vote, while they controlled the outcome of the elections and control how far you can move in terms of policy and regulations. And then again in 1962, they gave them fake independence. All of this, by the way, was done to merely appease the people, let them feel like they're getting some kind of progress, while the substance of it remains the same. They're still slaves in their own country in one form or the other. Fast forward now from 1944 to today, 80 years under the same two colonial parties, and they have not given back the land to the people. They have played with
Mm,
land reform. They've talked about land reform. They gave out a little bit of free things here and there, and they
mm,
gave out land lease on the Manly and so on. And you see the prime minister now going around cutting ribbons for a few sample houses for some people, but they're not really giving the people their birthright, which is the land that should have been theirs from 1834 until today. Can you imagine if our people, if your foreparents had been
yeah,
given the land back from 1834 or in 1944 or in 1962, where would be today with generational wealth built up and
yes,
accumulated among our people? Instead, what they have done is given lands to rich people from abroad to come and put up all inclusive hotels which are owned by foreigners and not owned by us. And they have given them powers over our beaches while relegating our people to the lesser parts of our island and giving the best and nicest part to foreign companies to own and control. We have to get up and understand this injustice and take back our land.
Well, Joseph, I'm glad that I'm in a position whereby I can elevate and amplify the voice of UIC. I believe in giving everyone a fair chance, and I believe that it is very important that your voice, UIC voice, be on that debating commission. And I'll do the best that I can from this side here and mobilize persons to really challenge the debating commission as to why UIC is not there, and to give a and to give a valid reason. And I know and I can see why they do not want the voice of UIC up there, because people will be blown up on and say, hang on a second, what is he saying? Hang on a second.
Exactly.
It's gonna
Exactly.
hurt, it's gonna hurt people's ears, but it's gonna hurt them ears. Hang on a second. What's happening here? What's happening? This
Yeah.
nobody's listen, nobody's saying this. Nobody's talking about land reforms in a very practical,
And
innovative,
substantive way.
disrupt and a disruptive way, because it's disruptive. It is going to be disruptive, but you need disruption at this timing.
It's a positive disruption.
Yes, yes,
For the first, it's going to be a disruption where we the people come out ahead. We have gone
yes.
through many disruptions when they went to Africa, or those of us who were already here in Jamaica, when they came and enslaved us. That was disruptive, but very negative.
Yes.
And when they passed laws to tax us forever on our land after we slave and bike back, that's disruptive. But the
Mm,
UIC is bringing positive disruption. We want to turn things on its head and put the people of Jamaica at the top for once. Put us at the top and put
mm,
those who think they should be in the elite class at the bottom. And I don't mean to take away anything from them. We're simply going to give back to the people. All the rich people in Jamaica don't have to run away like they did with Mandy, because we're not running any rich people out.
mm,
We love rich people. We want everybody to strive to be rich and wealthy, but to do so legitimately. We want you to earn your way. We want Jamaica to be a meritocracy. So if you go to school and work hard and earn a good education and apply yourself in industry, you
mm,
can become as wealthy as your ability allows. But to have
mm.
a governance model that routinely and systematically rob the people of their wealth, we must do away with that system. That system has destroyed our people, denied our people, and held our people back and down. And the UIC is here to completely eradicate that system and give Jamaica a non-partisan constitutional republic to free us from the tyranny of colonialism and their agents.
Well, Joseph, there's something I just want to post right here, and I need to post it so people can actually know, and that is the details of the Jamaica debating organization. I've got the details right here, and
Perfect. Yes.
I just want to post it. There's, ladies and gentlemen, there it is. There's the information. Contact the debating
The Jamaica Debates Commission. The Jamaica Debates Commission.
there it
Contact
is.
them and tell them you want the UIC in the debate. No
Yes.
exception.
And the information is right there. It's on the screen. Jamaica Debates Commission, care of the Jamaica Chamber of Commerce. Care of the Jamaica Chamber of Commerce. Interesting. 58 Halfway Tree Road, Kingston 5, Jamaica. Telephone number 876-922-2366. Email info at Jamaica Debate Commission. It's very important for all Jamaicans to really write to this commission and ask them the question. Not ask them the question. Tell them that you need to
Demand,
see,
demand,
demand. Yeah,
demand that the
yeah,
UIC be included. Demand that every single debate we have on the political stage, the UIC is included in the leadership debate, in the economy debate, in the infrastructure debate, in the community development debate. We want the UIC to be fully included so that we can hear another perspective on how we can move Jamaica forward.
yeah. Finally, the bus. Just tell me about the
Oh
bus.
yes, the bus, the bus, the bus. Now,
I hear
let
so
me
many
say.
things about the bus.
Let me tell you this. A school bus system has been long overdue in
Yes,
Jamaica. Long overdue. It's not even something that we should be talking about today in 2025. But,
yes,
but we know that, like almost all the other programs that the government talks about and boasts about and seek to get political mileage about, that's it. All they want is the political mileage. You will not have a well planned busing system. You will
Mm,
not have a well managed busing system. What you're going to have is the fanfare and the vote getting and the politicization. And at the end of the day, you're going to later on hear them thief the gas, them thief the parts. They're paying for service that they're not getting,
mm,
or they're not servicing the buses, or the buses are not the right type for the Jamaican environment,
yes.
and then you're going to have basically a waste of money, and in many instances a theft of money, because
Mm,
every single project these government bring in, everyone, both sides, GLP, PNP, every project they come in, if you study it carefully, you're going to identify a corruption component. There's always a kickback to somebody. There's always an
mm,
over expenditure. So something that should have cost you $1, with them it costs you $2 and $3, so that some money can go in the pocket of somebody. And then and worse than that, they can't manage Stillburn.
mm, mm,
They cannot. They cannot manage. They can't. They couldn't manage the airport. It's far enough run it. They couldn't manage Air Jamaica. They have to sell it. They couldn't manage the railway. They have to drop it. They couldn't manage GOS. We had a big, beautiful bus system before now. They couldn't manage it either.
mm,
So once the colonizers left Jamaica, in terms of not being here managing, our leaders tend to lack the competencies. And the reason why they lack the competencies is because too much, too much of their time is spent mastering corruption, mastering trickery, mastering deception. So they have a PhD in deception by now. All of them who have doctorate, they're doctorate in corruption. Okay? They don't have a doctorate in good management, a doctorate in planning and organizing and developing a country to its full potential. They only have a doctorate in stealing, in deceiving, in distracting, in deception. Nothing more, nothing less. And so this, I can guarantee you, this bus service, within a few years, the truths will come out, and you'll now realize it is inefficient, ineffective, poorly planned, poorly managed, and our students are back to square one, not being able to get good access. I remember as a boy when we used to have no schoolers. They said, no schoolers, no schoolers. So you can't
yes.
come on the bus until
Yes.
it's full up. And by the time you get to school, you're tired and haggard.
Yeah.
That
Yes.
has
Yes.
continued from me, a boy. I am now 54 years old.
Mm,
54 years old, and it's still the same thing today under these same two parties. Come on, Jamaica. We can't afford them. We have to fire these two parties now. We've had enough example and enough reason, enough data, enough statistics to
mm.
know that they will never serve the interest of the Jamaican people. And the UIC is the only party in Jamaica that is committed to real and good governance for Jamaica.
And it's very important that the voice of UIC is heard to the Jamaican people. Joseph, I want to thank you so much for coming on, and thank you for the time in the traffic and everything like that. Any last word, Joseph? Any last word? Any last
My
words?
last words are simple, and I want to thank you very much, Selburn, for having me on. Because you know the regular media don't carry us. I want to thank you very much for giving us this opportunity to talk to your audience. And I
Yes.
want to encourage all of your audience, go to uicjamaica.com right now, or call the number, or just WhatsApp the number 471-6598, 471-876-471-6598, and say to us, I would like to help. Just join the movement. Join, volunteer, and donate. We are funded only by you. You own us. Nobody no own the UIC. No
Mm.
foreign interests and no local elites. We the people own the UIC. So if you want to see a better Jamaica, this is your chance. Don't miss that opportunity. Join the team now and help us to take back your country.
Well said, Joseph. Thank you so much for coming on, and thank you at so short notice as well, and much appreciated. And you say you got 10 prospective parliamentary candidates. Is that correct?
No man, we have 15 and more coming.
You got 15 or more coming. Okay, well, it
Yeah,
could be
yeah.
63 then. Who knows? And
Yeah, you
let's
never know. You never know. You never know. We're working day and night to, you see, because the way we do it, we don't force candidates on any constituency. We
yes,
try to encourage people from the constituency to step forward and run. But one of
within
the
the
problem we
constituency,
have within the constituency,
within the
yeah, they live
constituency.
there. They must live there. Now, one of the challenges that we have is that many people know that the system is full of victimization, right? So they say the same way they block the UIC from the media is the same way they try to block people from economic progress when you become a part of the UIC. So on the one hand, we are leading the transformation, but on the other hand, we're victims every day of that attempt to lead to change. So they
Mm.
send infiltrators inside and outside. They spy on us. They block us from all kind of things in the society because their commitment is to keep Jamaica in the claws of the PSOJ oligarchs forever. So when a person stand up to run for the UIC, they're making a major sacrifice. Most of
Mm.
the persons who are running are ordinary Jamaicans. Them not have no big money anywhere. Them not have no big financial backers anywhere. And the elites that run this country, they despise the people of Jamaica. They don't want ordinary Jamaicans to rise up and run this country. They want the political class that's committed to keeping the corrupt system in place. And that's what we're fighting against. So it's hard, but we still push on. And we're at 15 candidates right now and growing.
Fantastic, fantastic.
Yeah,
Thank you, Joseph. I much appreciated and
my
enjoy the
pleasure.
sunshine. Yeah.
All the best.
All the
Take
best.
care. Bye
All the
bye.
best. Take care, sir. Bye bye. Bye.
All right.
Thank you. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you so much for joining tonight and listening to Mr. Joseph Patterson, who was just speaking a while ago. Mr. Joseph Patterson, who is the president of United Independence Congress, and uh, what is this here? You know, let me just remove that there. Delete comment. Yeah, yeah, from the Independent Congress, and what we're talking about was the Jamaica Debating Commission sort of excluding them. Well, it is not confirmed yet, but it is more than likely that they won't be included in the debating commission debate, which is for the two key leaders, the Jamaica Labour Party and the People's National Party, in the upcoming general election. And I started it off by using a case study with how Nick Clegg of the Lib Dems in 2010 became the kingmaker when when the Conservative Party under David Cameron and Gordon Brown with the Jamaica with Labour Party in the UK brought him in and agreed for him to come in after great pushing, and he created a storm, and both parties weren't able to secure enough to form the government, and therefore became the Lib Dem became the kingmaker. And I believe that in Jamaica, it is very important for all voices to be content, all voices to be heard. I believe that it's important for the voice of UIC to be heard so the people can hear as well. And I'll personally be writing to the Jamaica Debating Commission, the Jamaica Chamber of Commerce. The number is there, the address is there, and ask the question as to why and if Mr. Joseph Patterson from the UIC will be a part of the national debate in Jamaica and Jamaicans all over. And if you're hearing this, you should also do that as well. Okay. And thank you so much thank you for those on TikTok. Remember to like and share. Those on Facebook, like and share. Those on YouTube, please subscribe. Let this platform grow. And it's very important with these different debates to amplify and to elevate the voices as much as possible. And thanks also to Mr. Conroy Green, who was here at the first part of the show. Very dynamic young man, as I met him initially on TikTok, and having the debate and hopefully to meet him in person. But a dynamic person, a young man, very aspiring. Um, Artists, self-taught artists. You need to watch the show at the start. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, have a good night. Yes, thank you, Janet. Thank you very much for having the US president. Have a good evening. Thank you so much. And as I said, when somebody said to me today in the park when I was doing my little walk, they said, "Why are you guys overseas in the diaspora?" Um, attacking the prime minister. Why are you attacking him? And I said, Bridget, where you come from with these stupidness? And so like that. And I said to the person, come on to the show tonight and let's have a discussion, talk. I don't like to be talking to people behind what should I say, keyboard, keyboard warriors hiding behind keyboard. Come and speak and hear what you say, because if you're saying that, other people may be saying that as well. So it's very important. All right. So ladies and gentlemen, have a good night. Thank you very much, and peace out until next time. Yep.